Alright, y'all, welcome back to the next installment of Battle of the Goats, and we are starting off with Naruto. Naruto, the original show. I will say that Naruto is goated. I will say it is goated. It's the first. Is it the first? Yeah, I think it's the first anime that I actually like like went out of my way for. Like technically, the first anime I ever watched was Dragon Ball Z, but as far as animes that I purposely just started watching like from beginning to end was Naruto. Now, I don't think it was the first anime that I finished. I'll get into that later in the list, but because I mean Naruto is the original show isn't like I think it's pretty long if you're counting all the filler episodes, but as far as the main story goes, it's not like too long. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the main reason why. Speaking of filler episodes, that's the main reason why I didn't put it in True Goat because this show got bogged down heavily by filler. I know the arc right before the really big arc that everybody remembers and everybody loves to death, like basically the final arc. I remember that was like probably the most abrasive in terms of stuff that feels just utterly pointless. And the worst part about it was that you kind of had to sit through it just to see how Naruto's character develops throughout that arc. So yeah, those are usually my least favorite arcs in anime. The ones that are so uninteresting, but they do have something to do with the story, so you have to watch it. I hate that. I hate that trope in anime. It's so annoying. So Naruto had a little too much of that. You could argue that the first big arc of Naruto was also like that, but I mean, I thought the characters in that were like much more interesting, so I don't really like count that too. I don't count that too hard against Naruto. The tuning exams, obviously, that was where the show really, really picks up. And the more characters they introduce, like usually the better it gets. That's usually the rule of thumb with the original Naruto. Really good series, really good. Obviously, on its own, it doesn't really like leave you satisfied, but that's where we're going to be talking about the next show. Naruto Shippuden. Shippuden. I don't really, I don't know how to pronounce the subtitle. I'll just call it Shippuden. Now, where do I put this? I will put it. I'll say it's goaded. It's goaded. That might be hearsay for big time Naruto fans, because I think most agree that the original series is better than Shippuden, and I mean, I probably would agree with that. But the thing is that Shippuden, even though like it's way worse with filler than the original series. I will say that like right now, it's whenever you have a show that literally takes at least a year to catch up with the main story, and you're literally just making a bunch of filler episodes just to wait to catch up, just to get back to the main story, and you have a year's worth of filler episodes, like that is gonna drag your show down hardcore, and that is what Shippuden does. But see, my thing is that when Shippuden hits its high points in the story, like they are like high points. Uh, the pain arc I personally thought was absolutely excellent. What else? Like the war like at the end of the series was also really really excellent. Um, you know what? I'm actually just gonna put this in overrated, but still good. It kind of hurts to do that because I mean, really, with the ending, I think it did stick the landing like really well. Like I was saying, the story highlights, like they really did hit hard with Shippuden. But man, it's just the more I think about like the filler and it's like the arcs that just weren't as interesting, like it's like, yeah, I gotta peg it down a little bit, because mind you, Shippuden is a much longer show than the original Naruto. At least based off of memory, I'm pretty sure it is. Shippuden like definitely really really got dragged out, and hey, I counted that against this show, Steven Universe. So I gotta be more fair with that ranking and say that that should also apply to Naruto Shippuden. Because see, the difference with Shippuden is that like it actually really did a good job with its ending compared to Steven Universe. At least the original Steven Universe show, not counting the movie or Steven Universe Future. So I'll be fair and count that against Shippuden. So it's got to get pegged down from Goated. Sorry, but that's just how I just got to do it. Anyway, moving on to The Last of Us. It's only one season right now, and I will say it's goated. Goated. Last of Us is really, really good. It's a really good show. And mind you, that's not counting the video game, because I'm just going to treat this as its own separate entity. The video game is true goated, just to clarify. But The Last of Us, the TV show, definitely has some pacing issues. Now, the third episode on its own, writing wise, was spot on. Very, very good episode, writing wise. But when you're mixing it in with the rest of the show, it really sticks out like a sore thumb, and not really in a good way, not entirely, in my opinion. It kind of like breaks the flow of the story too much, the way I see it. There's also another episode like that, which, yeah, that episode, it was good, in my opinion, but not as good as the third episode. It doesn't really like hit you as hard, in my opinion. But yeah, as far as being faithful to the video game, the show does a pretty good job. It mixes things up here and there, and it doesn't do too much of that. It does almost just the right amount of it, almost, because there was the third episode which totally like broke the pacing, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, does a really, really good job of being faithful to the game, which really concerns me for season two. Yeah. Let's just all hope that season two really mixes things up. But from what I hear, the writer of the video games, who also did The Last of Us Part Two, he's pretty proud of what he did in The Last of Us Part Two, and he has a hand in the show as well. So yeah, I don't think things are looking too good for season two of this show. I lament to say, but well, that's just how the crumble cookie. Anyway, on to another HBO show. We've got Euphoria. I would say Euphoria. I did really like season two. I thought season one was also pretty good. I'm gonna say it's overrated, but it's still good. I do really like the show. I like it. Zendaya, I love Zendaya. For obvious reasons. She has a fantastic performance. Um, in my opinion, other characters, not until season two, but other characters just aren't really as memorable as Zendaya's character. She's kind of just my favorite part of the show, honestly. Not to say, because like I said, season two, I think the or at least what I hinted at. Season 2, the side characters come more into their own with that season. Although some of them, like, not to say any specific characters, but some of them kind of just like stagnate from how they were from the first season, and were not even like any, honestly, even more annoying than they were in the first season. Because that's another problem, is that like there were some like just downright annoying characters in this show, and I guess you're kind of getting into that. Like, you kind of have to like know that when you're watching a high school drama, like that there are gonna be some characters that really annoy you. So, that's, and for those of you who don't know, it's based on high school. Like, it's a high school drama, so you're gonna have to expect certain conventions, like high school drama conventions, when you watch that show. So bear that in mind when watching Euphoria. Even though it's in high school, by the way, not really a show at all for high schoolers to watch. It is very explicit, very, very, very explicit. I would say even more so than Game of Thrones. Is it? Yeah, yeah, I would say Euphoria is probably more explicit than Game of Thrones. So also bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. Honestly, I don't know why I added this next show on the list. We've got The Legend of Vox Machina. I would say overrated, but still good. I don't really have like very strong opinions on the show. Ooh, it's kind of weird putting that above Game of Thrones now that I think about it. But I think it's only one season. No, no, no. I think season 2 actually came out recently. I still have to catch up with that. But just going off season 1, it was solid. It was pretty good. You know what? There was a lot of humor that annoyed me in this show, so that's kind of why I like peg it down a bit. Yeah, I'd say that's a fair tier for Legend of Vox Machina. Excuse me. I'll probably just leave it at that, but looks like we're back to the true goats. True goats. I don't know why I did. I don't know why I did my voice like that, because I mean, I should have been like, because that's the Cowboy Bebop I remember. That's the tune that comes to everybody's mind when they think about this awesome show right here. Where's Jet though? That's not Jet, is it? Who is that? Yeah, that is not Jet on the left. I don't know who that is. uh, hmm. Yeah, who is that character? Maybe I'm an idiot, but like, yeah, I don't recognize that character on the left there. But anyways, Cowboy Bebop, really, really good show. To be real though, I do need to rewatch the show because I did take a very long break in between episodes. I can't really remember why, but there was, when I got back into it, there was quite a bit I forgot about what had happened previously, because when I got back into it, it was a Jet episode. It was an episode about Jet and his past. Uh, so if that gives any of you an idea of like how deep I was into the show before I just randomly like dropped it and then like got back into it like maybe like a year later. I do need to rewatch it, but from what I watched, like when I watched it to the ending, solid, awesome show. I will say there was one episode that I probably need to rewatch because, like, as of right now, I wasn't a big fan of it. Because there was a point where I just like got kind of like confused at what exactly was going on. There was this character you meet. He was a one-off character, uh, and I kind of like lost interest midway through the episode for whatever reason. I'll need to rewatch. I'll need to rewatch the whole show because I mean it is like literally. I think it is ranked as like the best anime of all time. So it's definitely worth your time. It's a very good show. Beautiful aesthetics. Uh, Spike is a great main character. Uh, the show's ending is really 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 good. I love the ending to the show. Just a solid show all around, all around. I have no idea what that is on the left. I don't know why Spike isn't in that picture. I don't know why Ed isn't in that picture. Where's the corgi? I think that's the breed of dog in that show. I feel bad not remembering the dog's name, but anyway, I don't know why either of those characters are in there, and sorry if this video gets really long, by the way, or if it's not long enough because I forgot to start my timer. But moving on to, I think the show is considered an anime, but it's an American-made show, so, and I hardly ever refer to those as animes, but we got Castlevania, and I will say Castlevania is goated. This show is goated, definitely. Not true GOAT, not yet. Well, I mean, I think it's over, so it's, not, it's probably never gonna be a true GOAT category for me personally. It's a really good show, based on the video games. I never play the video games, but you don't really have to enjoy the show. Much like Arcane, you could just like pick it up and understand it perfectly. I'm sure there are like Easter eggs in there that only the gamers would understand, but if you just want to watch the TV show, then you can do that perfectly fine without playing the video games. Oops, I'm trying to zoom out on this because you can't really see Teen Titans in the True GOAT category. There we go. That's better. Zoom in a bit. There we go. So yeah, Castlevania, really good show, really great action scenes. The banter between the characters is really nice. Well, nice is a weird way to put it. It's really entertaining. Great show all around. There was so basically one thing that pegged it down specifically that I can remember without giving it away. There was a relationship between two characters that was established pretty clearly at the end of the third season. I mean, they had a relationship all throughout the third season, and then the nature of their relationship changed at the end of the third season. But the way they followed up with it in the final season was just confusing. And I was kind of like, huh? It didn't make a lot of sense to me because it seemed like they were setting up something entirely different at the end of the third season. So that's one thing that pegged it down. Anything else I could think of off the top of my head? I guess the third season in general just didn't really measure up to the second season. So, and the fourth season, from what I can remember, even though the ending was pretty good, I think there were some things that they could have done better, from what I remember. But overall, it's still a solid show, definitely worth a watch. Just not true GOAT status, in my opinion. Orange is the New Black. Haven't watched it, but I might. I did watch the first episode a number of years ago. For whatever reason, it didn't hold my attention. Not that the first episode was bad. It quite a cliffhanger. Quite a cliffhanger at the end of the first episode. But for whatever reason, I just didn't follow up with it. I didn't watch the rest. But I probably will at some point or another. Alright, so I have no idea where I am at with time. No point in starting the timer now. But, Yeah, I think I'm just gonna finish up with these three Marvel shows. We got WandaVision up first. To me, this was easily the best Disney Plus Marvel show. I'll say. No, not there. It was the best Disney Plus Marvel show. I'm gonna put it in It's Golden just because of those first few episodes, and the hype around it was like, at least while we were watching it, like it that also kind of just made it a lot of fun to watch too. The first few episodes were really, really, really good. Yeah, it definitely went like downhill as it went on. To be real, uh, it almost makes me want to put it in overrated but still good category because yeah, it really didn't stick the landing. Should I do it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to peg it down. Sorry. I know my sister's probably gonna like scream at me for that. Maybe not. We'll see when she watches this. But yeah, the ending. I wasn't too big of a fan of how they of the last few episodes. The first few episodes I thought were really, really cool. It was a really unique show. Really unique. Honestly, if it would have kept up that quality, I may have liked it more than Daredevil. Honestly, the TV show, the Netflix one. Well, I mean, the Netflix one was the only Daredevil TV show. Soon there will be a Disney Plus version, which probably won't even compare to the Netflix version. But anyway, that's what I got for WandaVision. Elizabeth Olsen, one of my favorite actresses. For obvious reasons. If you haven't watched her work, then I'll tell you that she's a amazing actress. You won't really like see that in the movies, honestly, that she's in. Well, the Marvel movies. You'll see it in if you watch the Doctor Strange movie for sure. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But you won't see it in any of the Avengers movies though, because she doesn't really have a whole lot to work with. But in WandaVision though, like that's her pride right there. She's done more works now, but I haven't really watched too many of them. But WandaVision was where I really got to see her acting prowess. Also, Paul Bettany was really good in the show too. Got to give him his flowers. Also, his best work is Vision, hands down. All right, next up we got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It could have been great. Easy. There's no question. It could have been great. Honestly, I would say the only reason why I would have put it in the category above it is just because I think it's probably a little too high rated on IMDb. Yeah, I think it started off pretty good. Oh yeah, that's right. Cause the end of the fourth episode. Oh my god, it was just very unexpected. I was like, whoa, okay. Like I was really into it by the end of the fourth episode, but yeah, the follow up was not good. I did not like how they followed up with that character. Did not like it, and yeah, I mean, it has some cool action. I'm honestly just starting to get tired of these like of them trying to write sympathetic villains. Like, I get it. Marvel has a really bad reputation for having like really bland, generic villains, and I totally see them making more sympathetic villains. I've been seeing that. I mean, we've all been seeing the sympathetic villains in these recent years, in the Marvel movies and the TV shows. But they might just need to dial it back a bit with that because like they're making it kind of clear that they don't really know how to write them well anymore. Like the best villain they've had in the last few years, in my opinion, was Thanos. And yeah, I mean, he wasn't even all that like sympathetic. He was just a very like understandable villain, you know. And that was what made him really good, was the fact that you perfectly understood his motivations. He had like really good lines. Just a very powerful villain. He was a great villain. And I think they need to just like go back to that type of villain writing, because this sympathetic stuff just ain't it right now. But moving right along to Loki. Loki, I will put it in overrated but still good, not goated. Yeah, my sister will probably hate me for that too. I mean, I don't know, maybe not, but yeah, Loki was pretty good. I liked it better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Obviously, I put it in the tier above it. Yeah, I feel like they could have done more with Loki as a character. I don't want to say like why I say that, because that would kind of give away a big part of the premise of this show, because the a big part of the plot of the show is kind of like a surprise. And I just wasn't really like crazy about what they did with it, because I mean, it's Loki, like it's the god of mischief, you know. Like they could have had him like be way more like Loki-esque than like he was in this show. I mean, I get like they're just kind of just like putting him on like a character journey, and that was kind of like the point of what they were doing. It was just the way they went about it that I wasn't crazy about, you know. Like someone made a really good point that the show felt less about Loki than it did like the new like multiversal concept that they brought up in the show, which they didn't even really utilize in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So it kind of makes me wonder what was even like the point, honestly. But yeah, that show could have been better. I love Tom Hiddleston as an actor. He's the perfect choice for Loki. I can't really imagine any other nigga playing that guy. Perfect casting choice. I guess Owen Wilson did a good job. I mean, his character was kind of random in my opinion. Uh, yeah, random in terms of like what you would expect from a show called Loki, you know. Uh, Decent show, overrated in my opinion. Uh, but yeah, that's all I got so far. Looks like next time we'll be going back to some anime, and boy, do I have quite a bit to say about those shows. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye.